Please watch fourth episode of the launching of the book.
Thank everybody who heard me.
Thank you for that brilliant perspective, sir. I really like this sloka myself. Very nice. Now, the part that all of us have been eagerly waiting for, I would like to request the man behind the book, ShreeKumar Menon, sir, to please take the stage and address the gathering. Sir belongs to the 1978 batch of Indian Revenue Service, Customs and Indirect Taxes. Sir holds an MA and LLB degree and has a doctorate in Narcotics and Psychoactive Substances. Sir is a distinguished international counter-narcotics specialist, having delivered lectures on narcotics at the Russian Customs Academy, Moscow, World Customs Organization at Brussels, Department of Revenue and Customs, Bhutan, UNODC, New Delhi, amongst many others. Prior to this, Sir has brought out 2 anthologies of poems and another book on narcotics, Chasing the Dragons. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, respected dignitaries on the dais, of the dais. I mean, so many of you have come. Many of you are senior people, much more senior than us. And I'm very grateful to all of you that you could make it this day. Let me just start in the sequence and order. I have written so many articles on narcotics, I myself have lost track. More than 200 are there. Every month I make it a point to write 4 articles and it's published. I had a colleague of mine, Mr. Vasa Sheshagiri Rao. He retired as the Principal Chief Commissioner in Pune and Chennai. Whenever I used to send an article to him, his only refrain was, "Sir, I request you to please publish it as a book." This has been going on for over a year. Finally, about 2 months back, somehow I don't know, something struck me. I called him and told him, "Vasa, I'm going to listen to you at last. I will publish it as a book." So he said, "Grateful." I compiled all these. The original title was something different. The original title of this book was Garland of Opium, Triumphs Over String of Pearls. And this book was originally supposed to be published by Indus Scrolls, and I'm very happy to say Sri G. Sridhathan, who is the Chief Executive, is kindly stand up, Sridhathan, let everybody see you. But what happened was some problems, technical problems. He was engaged in finalizing so many other books. I think last month only he had released a book which was released by Dr. Shashi Tharoor. So my work got delayed. I was also somehow, it takes something, then we become very anxious, we have to do it. So, Notion Publishers, they contacted me and they said, "Sir, we would like to do your book." There are 2 sections in this book. One is about all the current problems faced by our country, which all the respected dignitaries have already spoken on. I don't want to waste your time. The second part is about the opium wars. In fact, I had put the opium wars first and the current issues later, but the publisher said, "No, sir, current should come first and opium can come later." What to do? We are at the mercy of the publishers. We have to listen to what they say because they are focused more on marketing. They said, "Sir, your book has to be marketed. So, all right, you do whatever you feel like. I leave it to you." Friends, when I was posted as Commissioner of Customs, Pune, the first day when I went to join, as my car was entering into the building, on the road I saw a board. It said David Sassoon Road. That word Sassoon, I have this habit, especially because we write so much and then we are so familiar with the English language. Sassoon, my immediate thought was, instead of the S, if it had been L, it would have been Saloon. But somehow, this name struck me, and then I was wondering who this person is. I thought maybe some local politician or some industries or some big. No road has been named after him. And as you know, when you go and join an office, immediately there are so many people coming to meet you, call on you. So, to all the local people, I asked, who is this David Sassoon? Nobody could answer. At last, I spotted one learned man, and I asked him, "Who is this David Sassoon?" That man literally jumped from his seat and said, "Sir, he's the man who made The opium wars. He's the biggest narcotics trader in the world. Though I had done my PhD, I never came across his name. So much of literature I had gone through. I said, okay, I should learn about this man then. So I studied. And my God, it was an astonishing revelation. See, so much of our history is suppressed. That even, people who should have been our real icons, we don't know about them. And I wrote an article, The Don Who Made Two Empires to Fight. Just imagine, friend, a Don, a trader, a narcotics trader. He commanded the British Queen, my trade is being affected, fight the Chinese. He told the Chinese, how dare you stop my trade? Now both of you fight. Is there anybody in this world who has that capacity now to sit and demand two nations to fight? And they fought. We are using, our learned media people are here. I always tell them, see, be careful when you call somebody something. Don, whom do you use? You are now using it for all sorts of bourgeois fellows. Their only claim to fame is that they had some connection with Bollywood. And you're glorifying them and calling them Dons. But here's the biggest Don. He made two nations to fight. And I wrote a book, The Don Who Made Two Empires to Fight. And friends, I was wondering whom to give this for publishing. And I did not know him then. Mr. ShreeKumar, he is now one of the giants in India on taxation. Please, Shailendraji. And his editor, Mr. ShreeKumar. I gave it to them and I told them, see, this is not directly connected to taxation. Can you consider this for publication? Promptly they said yes, and they gave that so much of publicity. So David Sassoon, he made the opium wars into a reality. Friends, today we are so much afraid of China. When we see in the papers, oh China, dragon is there, dragon is coming like this, what will we do? Prestigious magazine, I don't want to name it. I called them and told them, sir, why are you being so afraid? Why are you creating fear psychosis? The Indians defeated the Chinese, do you know that? When I told him about the opium wars, he said, oh yes sir, it's big news to me, you please send me an article, I'll publish it. Thereafter that fellow did not do it. The British fought the opium wars. If you read history, what do you learn? Opium wars fought by British. All the credit has been taken by Governor General Warren Hastings, Major General Sir Hugh Goode, and Lieutenant Colonel Francis Younghusband. All strange names to many of you. Maybe a military personnel may know. I'm telling may know. When I went for a lecture to a place and I was talking about this subject, at the end of the lecture, a gentleman came to me and said, I am Major General S.K. Chaudhary of the Military Intelligence, Pune. Do you mind coming and speaking to my officers? I said, sir, it's my pleasure, I'll come. And I went there. In each batch, there used to be about 400 officers. And I was also very sad that most of them did not know the heritage of their regiments, what they were handling. It was all news to them. I feel very sad because maybe it's part of our education system. We are not enlightening our young generation on what we did, what our ancestors did. Bengal Regiment, Ludhiana Rifles, Madras Regiment. These were the people who went and fought the opium wars. Thrashed the Chinese. Take Chinese history now. They always talk only of century of humiliation. Who did that humiliation? Our Indian troops. You may have one British Major General or the Lieutenant Colonel there. So I used to always tell them, if the Chinese are doing psychological warfare on us, do the same thing back to them. Your daily manufacturing, sir, Vinit Goenka sir, please listen to me. Daily you are manufacturing missiles and all those things. There's an acute shortage of names in this country. Prithvi, Agni, all these time, why don't you name one missile, David Sassoon missile? The Chinese will have to explain to their young generation that this was the fellow who hammered us. Why don't you name one road on the border? You're constructing huge roads on the Himalayas. One road, Major General Sir Hugh Gould, Governor General Warren Hastings Road, Lieutenant Colonel Francis Young Husband conquered Lhasa with the help of the Sikh regiment.
But sir, in Bombay we have Sassoon dogs.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. So, see, these were the people who they created such a big history for us. We can be proud to tell the Chinese that we vanquished you one day. I went to Florida International University, they had called me to deliver the plenary session on the American opioid crisis. And I told about this opium wars also. At the end of the lecture, one Chinese girl stood up and she started abusing me. She said, you Indians are responsible. That thing, she said so many things. Then I wanted to find out why she reacted in that particular manner. You know, friends, what they do, you know how they teach history? It's a big lesson for all of us. We learn all sorts of, I should not use that word, but real rubbish. In the name of history, we have been taught rubbish. The Chinese are taught why the opium war took place, how it took place, what went wrong. And they teach their students the century of humiliation. That is how they refer to the period. They don't call it as opium wars, they call it as the century of humiliation. And more important, we are taking our children for excursion to Apogar and all those places. He will become like that only, so now. They take them to Yuan Ming Yuan. That was the name of the Chinese royal palace, which was completely desecrated by Indian soldiers. Completely. If you see the photographs, you can make out the scale of destruction that took place. They did not have any bombs or anything at that time. Just with swords and axes and all those things, completely demolished. What the Chinese have done, preserved it like that. They made another duplicate Yuan Ming Yuan this side. The children are taken and told, see, this was one, a similar one was existing here. This was destroyed by the Indians and the Britishers. Now you take a pledge that you will take revenge. I always tell when I go for lectures to various army institutions, your soldiers standing on this side of the border, somebody from Tamil Nadu, somebody from Kerala, somebody who does not know why he is fighting that war. Because what he has been taught, that not a blade of grass grows there. So that means if a blade of grass does not grow there, you can sell the country. Take whoever you want to take it. But that is what has been ingrained into them. No? So he is standing there for what purpose? I am getting some salary, I am getting some DA. My family is surviving because of that. The other fellow across the border, he is viewing you as my enemy. The descendant of my enemy who destroyed my ancestors is standing before me. I have taken a pledge that I will destroy him. The whole world of difference, whole world of difference.
The commitment becomes higher.
Yes, your commitment becomes higher. Motivation. You won't require anything else. The Britishers were big looters. And the Opium War, when I studied in depth, these are not told to us. I came across a very, what to say, it's a light incident, but it throws reflection on what all kinds of things the Britishers were doing. When the Yuan Ming Yuan was destroyed, before that all the Chinese royalty they fled. They could not take only one old grandmother. She was literally, bedridden. So they abandoned her and went. Along with that, they forgot to take one small toy dog. Chinese are very rated as pocket dogs. In fact, your pug and all is a product of China.
Chihuahua.
Yeah, they make all these. So, like that way, one small tiny dog was there. So, and ladies should not misunderstand. You would have all heard of the great German philosopher Schopenhauer. Schopenhauer is a great man and a very learned man, a Sanskrit scholar. So Schopenhauer, is the man who wrote the famous lines, "The Upanishads has been the solace of my life, the Upanishads will be the solace of my death."